Hello, everybody. This match came down to literally Graves just taking over the match. Graves was basically their entire team. If we're able to pick off Graves, we won the fight, essentially. The problem with Graves when he gets super fed is that he's very hard to 100-0 burst. And if you don't 100-0 him, he can retaliate with his full combo and he can basically reverse, sweep that fight. And so you'll kind of see that that's basically the theme that happens. Luckily, I didn't feed too much here at all. It really came down to I tried to make a lot of cross-map plays. Even though he was taking over the match in many ways, I still got every single dragon, eventually getting a final steal to get Dragon Soul. And we actually did come back and almost win this fight. But due to some bad positionings near the end, he just basically one-shot the whole team, and they pushed to win. What I'm trying to look for here is there anything I could have done to notify my team, hey, back off, don't take this fight, to slow down Graves' snowball enough that we were able to actually deal with him, and maybe catch up our other teammates to that point. It also doesn't help that our mid lane, Silas, and our AD carries, Samira, they're both kind of in your face, all-in champions, which is the complete opposite of what you want to do with the Graves, right? If you do that to him, he will literally two-shot you and you're dead and you can't do your combo. Mordekaiser here did do really well, and he was able to 1v1 Graves a few times. And so it was kind of a little bit of a balance of trying to make cross-map plays, trying to continue to farm, and we'll get right into it. So right off the bat, I started to do a 230 bot gank just because Samira Rel is that's a huge kill potential lane. And so, especially versus Aphelios and Lysandra. So I make sure I wait for their level 2, and then I'm able to sneak around the corner and go in, and we're able to get 2 kills picked up. Whenever you do this, you obviously are leaving your topside camps very exposed, so I try and run straight to them. I probably should have here, knowing Graves does like to invade, I probably should have ran straight to my red and at least got a box down, and maybe it would have scared him off, my red itself. I also super griefed myself on this smite. I smited it down to 7 health, and then his red buff took the kill. So, talk about griefing myself. Normally I would just back here and try and buy and get back to my camps, but TF was over pushing. I have a Silas that I know he can follow up with a stun and damage, so I really tried to play into that. Of course, he missed his initial combo, which made this a little bit extended, and ultimately he ended up getting chased into their side and ended up dying. I was able to get out free though. This is where the Graves snowball really started, when he basically picked up 2 small shutdowns on Rel and Samira, and he got a chunk of gold from that. Ultimately, from my play, this is probably a tempo disadvantage with how the mid gank went so poorly. And then I pick up the scuttle, and then I kind of back. And so I think my tempo just kind of got shot so much here. I wasn't back down and bot in time to help with that gank. And that could have drastically helped them from not feeding the Graves too much. This, I think, is one of the coming up here is probably the one of the biggest points that could have saved feeding Graves a little bit is the Silas has stolen the TF ultimate, and he does it to get back in lane. And by doing so, Graves is showing on the map that he's at his red. At the same time, if I had paid attention to that, Rel is trying to take out a pink. And I should have just straight up backed them off that, like, hey, get away, don't take this fight. Like, it's literally going right into the Fed Graves right now. And so, as you can tell, like, the smear is kind of fed already, but it doesn't really work out because they have a Fed Graves. And so, Samira can't really do her all-in because it's going against the Graves. And so, it's really kind of a bad matchup of things. I chose to go after Dragon here, I think mostly because TF showed that he was going top. So there was no mid lane help or priority. And then we had bottom lane ready to go. The wave was pretty much pushed already. And so it felt like we had a good priority to take Dragon. The fight definitely doesn't go very smooth here, and we're able to at least pick off Graves. And again, usually when that happens, we're able to clean up. And I'm able to at least deal with the dragon and get it down. I'm kind of weaving in and out a little bit, trying to just stay alive until I can smite and get the kill. And I am able to get it eventually here. But of course, by doing so, it comes into the problem of I do give a kill over to Graves, which isn't good at all. Here, I basically head back over to Grubs. This time, I know I have my Fed Lane Mordekaiser with me, at least. And then Silas has already pushed his wave in. So I felt still confident that we could take Grubs as well. And then right as I'm jumping over the wall, Graves pop out, showing he's kind of like bottom side with Silas. And so I know I can get a head start lead on the Grubs, just pop my ult and try and burn it down as fast as I can. I'm trying to request, hey, Mordekaiser, come help, come help. Because we all know Mordekaiser can take out Grubs very easily too. And so this is how I'm trying to attempt to carry this game, is avoiding the Graves and trying to do cross-map objectives, being very quick with map objective decisions. And overall, we're getting, I think we only dropped Rift Herald, and even that was a bit of a, it was kind of unlucky, and I'll get to that once we get there, but we almost get every single objective this match, despite Graves being so huge. And from here, I'm just doing my usual, clearing top to bot, keeping up with my farm, and then seeing what kind of plays we can make bot side, if possible.
Turret plating will fall soon.
Right here, I went straight to pathing to bot side because I knew Dragon was spawning. So I wanted to get as many boxes down as possible to try and outplay the Graves should he come. And sure enough, as I'm kind of preparing, Graves shows topside that he's actually trying to push the tower and take out Mordekaiser. And so it becomes pretty much a free dragon for us.
A summoner has reconnected.
And this was again, kind of like not respecting their team. I should have just left, went on my way. Like, what am I even going to do here? Nothing. I'm going to throw a dagger at most. You know, it's not going to do absolutely anything at all. And because of it, I get caught out and feed another kill. So this is where we get into the Rift Herald, and I feel like because I have my Mordekaiser, we're strong enough to take it. He's obviously really powerful right now, and we honestly basically had it. It had an unfortunate last second turn that pivoted its eye towards Graves, and I missed the hit on it, and then I couldn't combine it with my smite, and it was just freaking god awful. And this is one of those things that I wouldn't ever say Graves is a counter to Shaco, but because you can use that to your advantage as well. If you do get a good clone off, he can kill it and blow it up, and it kind of like blow it up into his and his team's face just as easily. But it can make it very hard to position your clone properly because he can basically one-shot your clone. And so, not quite a counter, but it's one of those things that AP Shaco Jungle, you have a lot of just like niche playstyles you have to do per actual champion. So there's a lot of nuances when it comes to being very careful how you run things. Same thing with Darius. Like, you can't really just walk up to an Ardarius and start auto attacking him. You have to stay outside of his cleave range and kind of kite and poke and kite and poke. Otherwise, you're just going to feed to his lifesteal, and he can literally two-shot you. So there's a lot of nuances with Graves that you have to be careful about. So this fight here, I think we just got lucky. Graves chose to get into the actual Rift Herald, which I think actually hurt his team. And we were able to get Samira's combo off bottom, and she cleaned up, and then basically we're able to see right there, I got my clone off on Graves, and it turned into favor for me, and we were able to get the third dragon.
Red team has scored an ace.
Here I see that they're on Atacon, and I'm just trying to do my best to get it down as many boxes as I can. And Unfortunately, the fight does not go very much in our favor. I was hoping for a steal, but obviously that didn't work out. I almost got a kill on Mundo there, but they ended up getting Baron off that, and then I think they start to push into Dragon. Now here I'm trying to push into box up, and I get caught out, and I end up having to jump back into kind of their side of the map, which ends up being a blessing because it does split up their entire team. Athalio starts chasing me, Lissandra's kind of focused on me, and my whole team is able to actually focus on the Graves. And so as a result of it, we're able to kind of take on, at least have a better chance at winning this dragon fight. We do end up losing the fight still, and we got completely pushed out because their Mundos, it's late game Mundo. But because their Graves is down, I'm being sneaky Shaco. I'm able to stealth in very at the last minute and take the steal. This, of course, gives our whole team soul, so we have a possibility of coming back here, and you'll see that we get one more pick on Graves for our final salute of our attempt to take it over. Silas catches out Graves here, and as you can tell, once their Graves is down, literally it seems like an entirely different team, and we almost pushed to win this. And honestly, like reviewing this here, if my team wasn't so aggressive at tower diving, I think we actually had a pretty good chance to just push to win right here. But because they tower dived, they got Lissandra ulted, and then two of our teammates just got completely obliterated, and kind of that was the end of that story. And boy, like, it was so close to win right here. This turns into a marathon for me of trying to get away. As everyone knows, everyone loves killing Shaco, so it turns into the TF constantly chasing me down, and luckily, because it's Nature Dragon or whatever, I have a bunch of jumping points I can get on to actually escape all this. And this again comes down to the final push. My team, for some reason, does not want to sit on the tower. Instead, they're staying right outside the range of the tower, and they get Lissandra ulted, Graves ulted, and just whole team just ends up dying, and it's kind of over at that point. You can see Graves' damage is just monstrous, and he's even melting the Mordekaiser at this point, and so if we don't kill him, it's pretty much GG. He ends up seeing me through the sweeper and tries to go after me, and I basically have to run away. And at the same time, he pretty much two-shots Mordekaiser and Samira. So that's Graves for you. That's it for this one. Thank you for giving me a watch, and make sure you like and subscribe. It really helps me as a new creator, and we'll see you in the next one.